moving on to the next topic, Josh Jacobs, Eddie Money. The big story came out today.
Supposedly, the Raiders offered him a $12 million
And he said no?
And he said
no.
Remember how
he actually flew out of Vegas, I believe.
Remember last year, at the end of the year, he's a Raider guy and blah, blah, blah.
Whoa.
That's what he did to the Raiders.
Listen,
Sorry.
I mean, I'm wondering where his head at now.
Everyone's a me guy.
Mitchell Renz, being in the Raider community as I am, deeply in the community, there's a bunch of like YouTubers. Probably the most popular one who has an actual job through Chat Sports is Mitchell Renz. And Mitchell Renz has been saying it since day one. And a lot of Raider fans were giving him shit, saying, Mitchell Renz came out and said, this is not just the Raiders' fault. This is also Josh Jacobs' fault. And everyone's like, Mitchell Renz, you're a homer, this and that. And then the story comes out that they offered him $12 million. And I believe Saquon and Pollard said they would have signed $12 million in a heartbeat. They both came out and said it. And listen, there's guys waiting in the wings. I hope Josh, a lot of people, Mitchell Renz says he needs to fire his agent and rethink this, because although I believe Josh Jacobs is extremely talented and one of the best running backs in the league, like Rafa said, they're just very replaceable.
Yeah.
And
sucks, but they are.
And I hope that he gets some good advice. I hope you have his number, Rafa. I hope I hope that you can convince him to come back. $12 million is not a disrespectful offer.
No, of course not.
Especially when you just saw, listen, put $2 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
And take the freaking. I mean, look what Dak did with all those franchise tags, and also
Kirk Cousins.
They made a killing.
The king of franchise.
They made a killing because although you don't have a lot of control, right, and you don't have a lot of security, you will get paid millions of dollars. And $10.1 million is and Josh Jacobs is a notoriously frugal guy. Everyone knows the story. Was homeless, lived in the suburban, very humble. And I know he feels disrespected, but now he should not feel disrespected.
Well, if Saquon took the money, and
yes,
we know that he was more important to a playoff team.
Yes, he needs to swallow some pride and say, maybe I'm just getting some bad advice.
I agree with you.
And what do you think, Eddie? What do you think?
I'm waiting on his epiphany.
Yeah, right? Right? I mean, and here's the thing. He's in Vegas. Imagine that $11 million that Saquon's getting in New York, which is more tax. Is it more tax than freaking California even?
They're right there.
They're right there. He's probably getting $12 million is way more in Vegas, right? Than $9 million is probably more in Vegas than 11 is in New York.
I'm sure, absolutely.
And that's also something you have to take into consideration, Josh.
Yeah,
Josh,
for sure.
The fans are gonna churn on you, Josh. They're gonna churn quickly. We love you. You showed up and showed out. You played hurt, but you're talking about a bunch of construction workers. You're talking about guys who work at the port. You're talking about a very humble fan base that the Raiders are. We love you, but $12 million is something that you should really consider and rethink this, because don't do what Le'Veon Bell did.
Who regretted it?
Who said he regretted it? When you offered $10 million, $12 million a year, that is the top 1% of 1% of 1%. And I know everyone has an ego, but sometimes, hopefully, like I said, he gets some good advice, rethinks his situation. If you have to fire your freaking agent because your agent, he gets paid on how much you get paid, then you got to do what you got to do, Papa. And listen, everyone has galvanized on the Raiders. Max Crosby, they're not going against, they all love Josh, but no one has come out and said, we're doing him wrong. No one has come out. And and trust me, every reporter in Vegas has asked that question. Where do you stand on this? Oh, I love Josh, but, It is what it is. That's his personal shit. He's not being disrespected. Josh Jacobs is not being disrespected, is my point.
I like it. Clip all of that.
Yeah,
It's a plea.
That's a nice little YouTube video.
As
there.
a plea to Josh Jacobs.
It
And
is.
send it to him.
But I'm telling you, a week or two, the fans are going to turn.
Oh, easy.
The fans are going to turn.
I think after the first preseason
You know,
game.
it's funny. The day, like first day of training camp, when Josh Jacobs didn't report, I follow Raiders Daily, and they reposted like someone made like an edit of Zamir White. They're like, "All right, next man up."
Next man up, man.
That's it. That's how it
Next
is.
man
I'm
up.
actually surprised your fan base didn't turn after he didn't accept his contract. I thought
They're
Raiders
turning.
fans are going to be
They're,
done.
they're
turning,
slow.
yeah.
They're slow.
My dad,
Some
my
of them still
dad's
love
a
Derek
diehard
Carr.
Raiders fan. He was like, I'm done with this dude.
They're churning. They're 100% churning. And listen,
I'll stand by him.
once a Raider, always a Raider. And we drafted you in the first round. A lot of people didn't see that, right? He was a pick and talented, but let's bring it home, Papa.